City of Coos Bay Parks Commission meeting. We will start with roll call. We'll start in the room first.
Harv Shabuti, Parks Commission.
Bill Davis, Parks Commission.
Ariane Lyons, Parks Commission.
Kirk Benward, Parks Commission.
Jamie Faraday, Parks.
Greg Hamlet, City of Coos Bay.
Christina Texera, City of Coos Bay.
And online we have
Carmen Matthews, City of Coos Bay City Council.
we saw Patrick unmute, but then muted again.
Oh, shoot.
There we go.
Yep, I'm here, Patrick Bernard.
Okay, thank you so much. We're moving on to item 2, public comment. It's on its way. We should get a string system.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yes.
Two.
All right. So for public comment, we have Coco, or unless you want to talk during the body of it.
Good afternoon. My name is Coco Sutton. I'm a volunteer with the City of Coos Bay Parks. And I wanted to ask to be considered for the October work session for the Adopt a Park pilot program as we start sunsetting that program, to give the deliverables, the donor lists and information for fundraising, and some of the other documents that need to have a home. So I just wanted to mention that so you can start considering that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice to see you again.
Right. Moving on down to action item 3A, Marshfield Cemetery update. Greg, I believe you're filling in on that today.
Actually, Cricket's not going to be able to join us, so Christina is going to be providing the update for that.
So for the Marshfield Pioneer Cemetery, the Historic Preservation Grant Phase 3, all work has been completed and final report submitted in advance of the July 15th deadline. Preserving Oregon Grant Phase 6 or 5, the grant agreement has been fully executed. Staff is confirming a formal city council acceptance is still required. The step was previously coordinated by the community development director. Oregon Historic Cemetery Grant Phase 5, the city applied but was not awarded funding through the 2025 grant cycle. Crowdfunding campaign Ignored No More, Give Just For. Community outreach continues through summer 2025 with a focus on engaging Marshfield High School alumni, particularly those attending class reunions, as potential donors to support ongoing preservation needs and grant match requirements.
Thank you so much. Any commissioner comments about the Marshfield Pioneer Cemetery update? No? All right. Action item 3B, park-related projects and grants updates.
As part of our ongoing commitment to transparency and collaborative stewardship, city staff provide monthly updates to Park Commission, highlighting current grant activity, capital improvement projects, and parks operation and maintenance. For grants, we have the Mingus Park restrooms, Lowe's Hometown Grant. A $45,000 application was submitted on January 21st, 2025, and was not selected for funding. Bicycle and pedestrian improvements, Oregon Community Pass. The Oregon Transportation Commission's committee released its funding recommendations, and the City of Coos Bay's project was placed on the alternative funding list. Final project approvals are scheduled for July 31st, 2025. TGM on July 8th, 2025, the city submitted an application to support bicycle and pedestrian planning efforts, including updates to the city's transportation system plan. Award announcements are expected late September 2025. The Mingus Park Community Building, National Register of Historic Places. The Mingus Park Community Building was officially listed in the National Register of Historic Places in May 2025. The city submitted a nomination in June 2024. It was reviewed and approved by Oregon State Advisory Committee on Historic Preservation in February 2025 and accepted by the National Park Service shortly thereafter. To commemorate this monumental achievement, the city hosted a cabin celebration day on June 28th, 2025. The event drew in approximately 40 attendees and was resounding success. The building was open again for a special public open house on July 4th, 2025. For capital improvements, the Mingus Park restrooms, the city is nearing completion of the restroom improvements at the Mingus Park baseball field. The roof has been fully replaced, outdated skylights removed, and electrical service extended to support lighting and future upgrades. The prefabricated restroom, which has a 10 to 12-month lead time from contract execution to installation, remains in queue. Staff are coordinating the remaining work and finalizing the long-term installation schedule. Safe Routes to School, as of June 13th, 2025 deadline, no additional feedback was received. Alta Planning has confirmed that the plan is now considered final and ready to deliver to ODOT. The message of the project management team Alta expressed appreciation from the city's engagement throughout the process. While adoption of the SRTS plan is not required, incorporated into the city's transportation system plan may improve competitiveness in the next round of Safe Routes to School construction grant funding anticipated in January 2026.
So I'd like to just kind of provide just a few updates. Since the staff report was written last week, I'd like to update the information on the Mingus Park restroom. Looks like we're going to be pursuing a different style of restroom versus the prefabricated fiberglass restroom that has that 10 to 12-month lead time. We're going to probably be pursuing a different style of restroom, a CMU wall that has half the lead time and about a 70% cost of the fiberglass restroom. Still delivers the same quality of restroom fixtures, of the aesthetics, everything about it is similar in nature, except for it being fiberglass. It's going to be a CMU, which is going to similar to the restroom at the Mingus ball field. But it's also, once again, half the lead time. And then also they're a turnkey, basically one-stop shop. They do the slab. All we got to do is run the utilities to near the facility. Whereas the fiberglass staff had to pay for and install the slab, pay for and install the utilities up through the slab, and do all this pre-work to facilitate that. Plus, there's a $37,000 to $40,000 delivery fee for the prefabricated restroom. Those cost savings are going to go towards are going to be eliminated with the different style of restrooms. So we will be presenting that to council and you guys next month. But we just started looking at that, saying, what can we do differently than this? Because their cost for the fiberglass restroom, for the time we first presented it to the commission till now, even went up. I think it was 15% cost difference from the time that we first initially looked at it till now. So there was a cost increase. Another update I'd like to give in regards to the Safe Routes to School. We will be presenting that to council on August the 5th for acceptance. However, we will not be including it as part of our TCP. Or sorry, not our TCP, our TSP. Sorry, a lot of acronyms. We will not be adopting it into our TSP. We will accept it and adopt it, but it will not be part of our TSP. So we will be doing that as well. And then finally, I just also want to talk a little bit about the Lower Empire Road embankment repair. That project is basically complete. There are still some other improvements that need to happen down there. So there's a grate that still needs to be replaced that goes to cover up the pipe that goes underneath the road. And we have some cleanup still down there for staff to do, removing some old timbers, removing the eco blocks, removing some other debris that we still have to facilitate. And then finally, the rewilding project is set to begin the last week of this month. So we're going to be mobilizing. Kurt mentioned that he saw Lance and myself out there last week looking at Mingus Park. We were kind of staging the location of the restroom. But while we were there, we also looked at the rewilding site. Last week, it was still had some spongy spots in the backside up against the hill there on Commercial. So we're monitoring it still this week and starting to firm up some more. And so I think very comfortably coming in, not this next week, but the following week to start those activities. So we will be back heavy at the rewilding, not next week, but the following week.
Great. Correct.
Yeah, just a couple of quick questions. I know in the Oregon Community Pass program that we got put on the alternative list, that's the Front Street project?
Yes.
Yeah, and any kind of feedback as to why we got put on the alternative list instead of maybe getting chosen? Because I thought we'd gotten some feedback that we had a pretty good project.
Yeah, I incorporated all the feedback. I think that they received so many applications from the one region.
Okay. Okay. My feelings are hurt.
Yeah, I don't think it was
Can we
a,
send them cry emojis? Like, is that?
I don't think it was a knock on the quality of the work that we presented. I think it was just the quantity of the applications that they had received.
Mhm.
Well, it was just, I didn't sit in on that one. In fact, I think there's a bike and ped committee meeting, maybe even today. Anyways, I sat in on the first one, and in that one, the ODOT staff really supported the plan. And, some of the members on the committee had some reasons that they wanted to do something else. And so I think it's a really good plan, and I'm just disappointed again that they didn't, because the city's done some things on Front Street, and that could really change the face of Front Street and make it a lot more pedestrian and bike friendly than it is right now. The safe routes to schools, I noticed that the contractor that we used for planning said they encouraged feedback. Is somebody giving them feedback on the planning process? Is that the group that worked with them, or the city, or who?
So I know that myself, and I know Jamie, you were part of the PMT, Harv, you were part of the PMT, Jennifer was part of the PMT, Christine was part. We all did get a survey to provide feedback to them. I know I filled out mine. Jennifer, I believe you filled out yours. I'm not sure if the rest of the group
Okay.
filled out a survey to them, but yeah, I took part of that
Okay.
response survey to them.
So the next thing that's going on with that, it goes to ODOT for them to review, is that, or it goes to the city council, but does it require any more? It says ready for delivery to ODOT. So I guess my question is, what does ODOT do with it? And the corollary with that is, unless I'm mistaken, the state has budgetary problems and they've laid a lot of people off from ODOT. Is that going to have any effect on our projects?
So there is a construction grant opportunity out there associated with the Safe Routes to School, and that, I believe that grant opens up in January. I don't know if there's funding. I haven't heard that funding has been stopped. I guess no news is good news, but I haven't heard anything. I think the city is gonna proceed forward as if that funding is there until we hear otherwise.
Okay. Anyways, what I heard was ODOT was losing about half of their people, and it seems like that has the potential for slowing down projects.
So I think that, and I'm not spokesperson for ODOT, but I believe that most of the cutoffs or layoffs that are associated with that are going to be on the maintenance side, the ODOT maintenance and facilities type thing for them.
Okay. So I mean, it sounds like the Mingus Park bathrooms on the lakeside are a win by going somewhere else. Does it change the timeline for when they're going to get installed?
It ups the timeline in which it'll get installed.
Do you have any idea about when?
Well, it takes the delivery from 10 to 12 months to 4 to 6 months.
Okay, so if the city council makes a decision at this next meeting, they would be able to be ordered?
We would like to pursue it sooner rather than later.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I'm just thinking about activities in Mingus Park in the fall, whether it would be available or not, but probably not.
So one thing that we, I don't know if I spoke about it, but I will speak about it now. We did go ahead and we started on the restroom at the ballpark. So the first activity was replace the roof. The second activity is we went through and we removed all the old fixtures that were in that facility. They were all beat up and battered and just rendered non-useful anymore. We have ordered and we have received all the replacement fixtures and everything is ready to go. We installed new electrical, like Christina said, to support new lighting and all the other facets that are going to be going in there. The next integral part that needs to happen is the replacement of the doors, the exterior doors, which staff is currently working on now. Once the doors are installed, then we'll go through and we'll install the new fixtures and that restroom will be up and running. Our intent is to open that facility up during the daytime for use for Mingus Park, just for the population there. And then once the new restrooms are installed, then across the side on the lake side, as you referred it to, go ahead then just kind of secure those restrooms and let it be utilized for the softball or the baseball field users and have the new restrooms be used for the parks.
One last one, and I'll stop bugging you. The fire marshal grant or whatever for the fire break around Tapas Park, is that started already? Have they started clearing stuff?
That's gonna be starting in August.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
And you're never bugging, you're asking questions the rest of us want to ask too, so.
Well, I've got more, but I'm saving them for later.
Okay, all right. I would like to note that logged in online also is Patty Scott and Cricket. So we have additional members as well.
Nice.
Do we have any other commissioner questions or comments about the project updates? Jamie?
Would this be a good time to talk about the backlighting bicycle backlighting committee? Or should that be? Sorry, should
Sure,
there
just-
be?
Go, just dive into it.
Okay, well, we had a meeting yesterday, the third meeting. And one of the things we talked about with the input of Mike Vaughn, who had visited with the North Bend planner, so that there was a master plan done by the county in 91 for pedestrians and bicycle, and said, well, maybe there's some work there that was done, because we're talking about doing surveys in our community and, well, both communities actually, to figure out what the needs are, what the facts are about people's wishes for pedestrian and bicycle infrastructure. So anyway, we're going to look into that, get a hold of, I think it's Ralph Dunham at North Bend. The other thing was a question for the city about Ocean Boulevard housing development. Is there any plan or requirement for pathways associated with that development?
Jennifer, you want to chime in on that? I haven't been really actively involved with that project.
Okay, so on site, there's not, there's sidewalks. But leading up to it on Lindy Lane, there's a multi-use path that's going to be installed. And then they are looking at a secondary access that's going to run through Cascade and then the property behind Cascade. And that's also going to have a multi-use path.
But nothing particular to Ocean Boulevard.
Well, there's going to be a portion of Ocean Boulevard where they extend the road diet and there will be bike lanes there.
Okay. So portions of, again, more.
We're slowly cutting away at Ocean Boulevard and getting that road diet, getting that donut filled in. We're working on it.
Okay, good.
Okay,
Okay, that's good to know. We're working on it.
Okay.
I'll report back. We're working on it.
we're working on it.
Okay.
And we're working on it. A government official is telling you this, so it's going to take some time because we need funding, but it is the goal and we're always looking for opportunities.
Right.
So it's on our radar. Okay.
anyway, we're in general looking for what we need to be doing to assist with the master plan that is apparently approved by the city council to do for pedestrians and bikes. Is that correct?
I'm sorry, could you ask your question again? I'm sorry.
So they applied for a grant
Okay,
to do one.
okay.
So, and then we're waiting to hear back on the.
That's the TGM
TSP.
grant.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
the TGM grant.
Okay. Okay, that's it.
Back to you.
Oh. We can just talk about anything now?
We can. We're just going to do it.
Cool. Fountains in Mingus Park. They're all clogged up.
They were removed and repaired, and now we're just waiting to put them back in.
Cool.
And one was running today.
Was it? Good. I didn't.
Surprised to see it.
Yeah, okay, they put them back in, okay. I wasn't sure when they were gonna get to it, but,
Yeah. Every time I drive by, I had noticed that they weren't there and
Saw it really.
so, yes. So when I first started my role, we didn't have any running, and that was one of my goals, was to get those fountains back up and running, and that every time I drive by, it's not running, I call and I'm like, hey, why aren't they going? I guess maybe I'm OCD like that, but, I like them. I think well, I just don't think they're, I think they're very attractive, but they also they serve a purpose.
Yeah.
I think
And
so
so-
too. I think they oxygenate the water a little bit, and that maybe helps with some of the algae and some of the other things that get in there.
Absolutely. They do help with the parents feather.
So that's good. The back park tennis court. Are we still without a net and posts for our lady tennis players that came and visited us?
We are still now without a net. However, staff has that on their list to make the repairs, to do.
Okay. I also noticed on the city council this last time, I didn't look at the recording, but I saw that the parks was getting the thing we talked about last time, the parks was getting their separate budget, and I'm assuming that went through.
Yep, and you're still on my thunder. Yes, I was gonna mention that and at comments, but yeah, council did approve that. I haven't really nailed down all the particulars yet, but council did approve that via the supplemental budget.
Awesome.
And I think that's a good thing, right?
I think that's a
Very much so.
fantastic thing.
Yeah.
Not just for staff who manages the budget, but I think it's a great thing for this commission and the goals that we have as a body to do the things that we want to do.
Okay. Carmen?
Yeah, I just wanted to chime in since this is just kind of commissioner comments in general portion, correct?
Yeah, we just skipped down to it. Yeah.
Okay. Kurt brought up Mingus Park and the fountains, and it's been talked about forever about dredging that pond and making it usable as a fishing space again. And I've been watching it as it continues to fill in. There's more and more islands popping up every year, it seems like. And I just wanted to broach a subject that or an idea, a concept that kind of popped into my head while walking around there. What if going the route of dredging is maybe not the direction we want to go? And I'm not saying I'm for one way or the other, but what if it becomes more of a marshland or a wetland kind of concept where, yeah, I mean, there's water there, there's vegetation, there's birds and various other things. And I don't know, maybe it seems like it's wanting to return kind of to a marshland anyways. So I'm wondering if that would be in line with any kind of master plan that would be more feasible for this city to attain, or if it makes any sense. And I guess I was thinking the next step would be maybe consulting with Coos Watershed Association to see what they thought about, managing some portion of something like that as a kind of restoration site. I don't know, just wanted to throw it out there, as we are always kind of trying to figure out what to do and trying to find money to dredge this thing. We've been talking about it for years now, and we just haven't been able to make it work. So I don't know, just wanted to throw it out.
So earlier this week, Christina and I meet every week to discuss, where we're at in grants. How are we successful? How are we not successful? Where are we at? What are we working on? And so earlier this week, I asked Christina to start looking for potential grants for 2 items in the future, for future projects. One of them was dredging of Mingus Pond and looking for grants for replacement of the docks down at the boardwalk. So those are the 2 grants that I asked Christina to start investigating feasibility of whether are there grants out there for those activities. So it's not lost on us at all. We're actively we're pursuing the dream of getting that dredged, and we really want to get that dredged out. So we're still moving on that path unless we're directed otherwise. But that's our goal, is to continue to look for those funding opportunities. But Carmen, I think you have some great ideas, and maybe that might be a possibility. If the commission and council want to pursue that, then we can definitely pursue that. But
Jamie?
Carmen, you reminded me of a similar discussion I had with Margie walking around the pond. And it sounds very much like what has been done in South Slough in the Winchester Creek area, where they got I think a couple $1 million worth to reshape a place that had been diked and drained and then reshaped. It could be some sort of hybrid of ponded area and channelized area that you're talking about. And I think it would be well worth talking to Alice at South Slough just to see if there's a feasibility for looking at Mingus, because it's a former high marsh before Marshfield was built. I mean, that's what it was. It was an inundated high marsh. And if we can restore any part of that feasibly, I'm not sure how, with all the underground conduits that go through there, and still have to deal with sediment. And so maybe there's probably some good information from the likes of South Slough's folks.
Well, I think that there's definitely some opportunity, whatever we end up doing, the lower pond region, is whatever we do once we move forward with the dredging, is have the conversation with them, because the upper watershed needs work, which is why so much is being dumped into the lower pond. So the upper watershed needs love, for lack of a better word, and rehabilitation. So we're not getting that constant sediment dump into the lower pond. So I think there's some hybrid options there where we can look to maintain it. So we're not looking at having to dredge the pond continuously. We will always have to some degree, but mitigating it to the point where it's not filling up with sediment as rapidly. Kurt?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I mean, I think it would be difficult. I think there would be a lot of resistance. Maybe that's a better way to say it. There would be a lot of resistance to turning all of Mingus Pond into a wet or marshland from the community. I could be totally wrong, but walking around there and seeing people enjoy that, it would be difficult. I do think, however, I agree that part of the discussion ought to be about maybe some kind of hybrid system. One of the things marshlands do is trap a lot of sediment. In looking at that upper part of Mingus Pond. And unfortunately, you're also talking about the Choshi Park part, but looking at that and seeing what options might be available there to slow the sedimentation in the lower part of the pond, I think that would have a lot less resistance and probably something that everybody would be interested in doing. My personal feeling is I really like seeing the pond. I find it very attractive. So, but I get the part about kind of being a natural wetland and always has been as well. So.
Yeah, I guess my point is it's basically becoming a marsh again. I mean, it's barely deeper than 2 feet in most of the pond already. But yeah, I like the idea of kind of a hybrid option, ponded slash wetland marsh area. And I feel like branding could really help with whatever direction we go. I mean, we are in Marshfield basically, and the Mingus Marsh kind of makes sense. It has a ring to it. I'm just trying to find a way where maybe some opportunities funding wise would open up. And I believe that wetland restoration or mitigation kind of relief development could really bring about some help. I mean, we had always been trying to go through ODFW to get some kind of fishing, recreational fishing funds, and we just continually are struggling with that. And, you know, I've been pushing so hard to get it dredged for so long, or not so hard. I mean, I've been a voice of dredging for a really long time. And I'm just kind of questioning my own directive on that. And so I appreciate some discussion about that, and maybe think about it next time you're around Mingus. Also, if you have a chance to go and walk like South Slough or any of the marshlands that are around our beautiful area, the Millicoma Marsh, you can see the value of it and the beauty of it in its own right. So that would be, I guess, my input is, you know, at once I was very definitive pro dredging, and now I am questioning my directive. So I'm more open. So thanks for listening.
Thank you, Carmen. Any other comments about the Mingus Pond Marsh? No? All right. I think we'll just roll into, we'll jump back up to future agendas. I do think that we should go ahead on the October 2nd work session, make that work session about Adopt-A-Parks. So we'll go ahead and update the agenda for that. Are there any other agenda items?
Yeah, actually, I would like to present to the commission at the August 7th work session the proposal by staff for the Mingus Park restroom. Get
Okay.
that in front of you folks before I take it to council,
Mhm.
and let you guys opine on the restroom.
Perfect. Sounds great.
Okay.
Any other items that are on or not on the agenda that they'd like to add? Carmen?
Yeah, I guess I would like to know a little bit about the rest or the playground equipment that was in the kiddie playground area at Mingus. Is that going to be installed somewhere in the main playground area, or is that out of commission, or maybe is there some grants to get some new playground equipment? Just seems pretty barren down there for our crown jewel of parks.
Yeah, and so the playground equipment that was in the kiddie playground area was defunct beyond its useful life. So that playground equipment was removed and dismantled and not going to be reused. As a matter of fact, it was scrapped. So no, those playground equipments are not going to be placed back in there. Yeah, eventually we're going to have to continue to build our playground facility down there. The next apparatus that we put down in the kiddie playground area will require to be the site to be brought to ADA standards, which for us is a plus. We like that idea, but it's just going to come down to dollars. So yeah, we can definitely look for grants for those, but we want to get with some of our other projects that we have right now currently going, get those completed and get those done. We also got to address the drainage in that before we start placing more playground equipment.
Mhm.
But yeah, we want to put more there.
All right, thank you. Any other items that should be on the agenda for work sessions or for our scheduled meetings? Any suggestions, further suggestions for that? Okay.
Ongoing funding,
Mhm.
is that
Yeah,
always on our
it's
agenda?
always,
Okay.
always. We're always discussing funding. Right. We'll move on down to staff commissioner closing comments. We did a little bit of that, but there's always more to discuss. So, Harv, you have
Yeah, actually that.
Can you use your microphone, please?
Thank you. Appreciate that reminder. Just wanted to follow up on the 4th of July in the park. Coco spoke about the cabin, actually a very family-friendly event. There were just a ton of folks down there, and quite honestly, everything from the, the kids were fishing, the Fish and Wildlife came through with the pond, the mounted posse actually brought more than just the horses. They basically had a petting zoo. So a real family-oriented kind of event. Lots of people through all day long. So I think it was a good day for the park and a good day really for the community to take advantage of that. Other than that, I'm not quite as confident on the safe route to schools. I had the unfortunate opportunity to sit through the entire ODOT budget presentation and session and work session on that. And there's far more than staff cuts. There's a lot of project cuts as well. So I am not optimistic, quite honestly, on that, as well as we've been talking about traffic lights for the bicycles. That I don't think that's going to happen either. It's a rather dire situation that department's in right now. So, and unfortunately, they don't have a whole bunch of legislative backing either right now. So it's kind of a scary time for them.
Thank you, Harv. Bill, any comments?
No, I got it all out. Other than, like always, I want to thank the park staff and the city staff for the work that they do. There aren't a lot of them, but our parks look pretty good. So thank you.
Jamie? Okay. Well, Greg?
Yeah. At the last meeting, we talked about a few items. One of them, we talked about the boardwalk, the projects that staff would like to do down at the boardwalk, and you guys approved us to move forward with those projects. Thank you very much. One of the questions that came up was, does the projects at the boardwalk have to go before the design assistance team? So I met with the planning department and asked that question, and the boardwalk is out of the design assistance team purview. So I did verify, but if we had to, I definitely would have taken it there. We will be taking the boardwalk and some other urban renewal agency projects to the August 5th URA meeting to present to council for work to be done in the spring of next year. In a previous meeting, this board or this body wanted to understand more about SDCs. We haven't presented that to you because we are still gathering information on that. So hasn't forgotten about it, hasn't been lost, but we're still gathering information. So we're not ready to prepare to present that to you folks. As soon as we are, we'll definitely present that to you. But other than that, Kurt, thank you for acknowledging staff. We are very busy right now with a lot of projects that have to happen during the summertime. And so see us out and about. Just that's what we're doing, is we're working very hard trying to get these projects done. They are working very diligently on the restrooms. We're going to have our staff working on those. And then, like I said, in 2 weeks, we're basically going to have the entire crew working on the rewilding project because of the time constraint of having, dry soils. I mean, it's been great weather, but we don't have dry soils yet. And then we're going to be running into rain in about 2 months. So we've got a very short window of time to get this entire thing done. And so we're going to be dedicating a lot of time to that. And so that might mean that maybe some areas of the park might not look so manicured as Kurt has alluded to, but we're going to do our best to keep up with those. So thank you to the commission for understanding that. And thank you for all your hard work and all the great questions tonight. Thank you.
Oh, but Cricket might.
Okay. We'll go to Carmen online to closing comments.
Not really. Mostly just echoing Kurt's comments on the city staff and park staff about keeping things looking good. I'm walking Mingus all the time and see the hustle and bustle every morning, and it's I'm very thankful that we got the team that we do have right now, and just really appreciative. So wanted to share my thanks as well.
Thank you, Carmen. Patrick, closing comments?
And speaking to the run that happened, we had 50 people register for the 4K, a little over 50 people, and almost 40 kids for the run around the pond. So really great turnout. Right now, the run is free for members of the South Coast Running Club, which we could maybe talk about changing and having profits go to the park, like creating some sort of like adopt a park committee, particularly for Mingus, and putting some of the profits to that instead of having it be free. So something I'm going to bring up to the rest of the running club board at our next meeting and see what they think about it. See how they think about it.
All right. Thank you. It's a great idea. Patty, closing comments?
I don't have any today.
Thank you. And Cricket, do you have anything you'd like to add as we're reading out?
Right. I wasn't sure where you were at and whether Christina had given the report on the Preserving Oregon grant. I sort of.
She did.
That was okay. And who will take care of? I assume it now has to go to the city council for acceptance.
Christina is shaking her head. Yes.
Okay. All right. And so we've finished up phase 3 and looking for funding, and primarily that same Ignored No More, we're reaching out to alumni and have some things going on with them. Just wanted to check in since I'm in New York State and couldn't quite get onto Zoom before that. So thank you.
Thank you so much. All right. Thank you so much for everyone for being here today. We are going to close our Parks Commission. I appreciate everyone's efforts and of course our efforts of city staff as well. So thank you so much and have a great day.